Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us. U.S. Soccer's advice to new referees focuses on how to prepare for and deal with the everyday challenges of being an official and provides practical advice that empowers new referees to succeed and have fun. Welcome to the U.S. Soccer Federation Referee Program. The class you took taught you about the laws of the game, but there is still a lot to learn in order to succeed as a referee. This information has been put together based on feedback from thousands of new referees just like you, and with help from experienced referees who started out where you are now. Your first assignments will likely be in a youth league where the games are more recreational than competitive. Even if you are an adult, it is best to start refereeing games where there is less competition so you can have success and build confidence. The course you took may have been sponsored by a specific league, and you may have been offered the chance to provide your availability and contact information to an assigner invited to talk to you as part of the class. If you did not already get assigner contact information during your course, be sure to contact the instructor or your state referee association. Make sure you let your assigner know what your game schedule looks like if you are playing, and if you have any conflicts of interest with other teams, such as family members playing on or coaching teams in the same league. If accepting more than one assignment in a day, make sure you allow enough time to travel to the next game. Many assigners now use online assignment programs to help streamline the referee assignment process. You'll want to become familiar with these programs and be sure to write down any passwords or usernames needed to access these sites. Remember that being responsible is part of being a successful referee, so it is important to be proactive in reaching out to assigners and letting them know you are ready and available for assignment. In addition to the laws of the game, it is also important that you know the local rules of competition. These are the rules used by local leagues in addition to or modifying the laws of the game. They can vary depending on the league or the age of the players, so be sure to get this information from your assigner. Based on the local rules of competition, here are some of the most common modifications made. The dimensions of the field and the field markings. The size of the game ball and the number of players. The number of substitutions allowed and when the substitutions can take place. And the length of the game. You will also find that some games do not allow for offside offenses, direct free kicks, penalty kicks, or the use of yellow or red cards. The last step in getting started is making sure that you are prepared for the game. In addition to your referee uniform, there are a variety of things that you'll need or want in order to be prepared. A watch with stopwatch functions is needed in order to keep time. 2 watches are preferred, one for starting and stopping, and one for keeping a running time in case you forget to start or restart the first one. You'll also need a few pens or pencils and a notebook to keep a log of the game. Yellow and red cards are needed for handling misconduct. You'll need a coin to flip with the captains. A whistle is needed, and it is always a good idea to have extra whistles in your bag. You'll need a set of flags for the assistant referees, or club linesmen if you are working alone and need volunteers. Cold weather gear may be needed when the time of the year makes it necessary. You may want street shoes and dry socks for after your games. Fluids are essential. Referees are athletes too, so proper hydration is important for performance regardless of the level of competition you are working. A bag is very useful so you can keep all of your items and equipment together and organized. In case of rain, a large plastic trash bag can keep your ref bag and everything in it safe and dry. It's important for referees of all ages and experience levels to make a good impression before each and every game. Players, coaches, and spectators can make judgments before you even blow your whistle to start the game. Doing your best to make a good impression is easier than you think and can go a long way in setting a positive tone for the game. Arrive at the field at least 30 minutes prior to the game, unless local leagues or tournaments require a different time. If you do not drive, make sure that someone knows you need a ride to the field and make arrangements for someone to pick you up to take you home. In addition to arriving on time, you must look professional if you expect to command respect from players, coaches, and spectators. Approach the game in a way that shows you are looking forward to being there and being a part of the game. Dress for success by wearing the official U.S. Soccer referee uniform. Remember that being a referee or assistant referee means having a job to do, so arrive at the field fully dressed and ready to officiate. Looking professional helps show everyone playing and watching that you are serious about doing your job. Now that you look professional, it is important that you act that way as well. Respect is a two-way street, so don't be arrogant or rude when talking to players or coaches. You are in a position of authority, and that means that you should set a positive example for everyone involved. Use common courtesy, such as please and thank you. Nonverbal communication is also important, so remember to stand up straight, have a firm handshake, and look players and coaches in the eyes when you talk to them. Keep your instructions to players and coaches firm and simple, so they know you are capable of managing the game. You may even know some of the players or coaches, so keep communications professional by addressing them with neutral titles, such as coach or number 7, instead of using their actual names. Many new referees are teenagers, and as such, may not be comfortable interacting with adults or have experience being in the position of authority that is required of a referee. In order to be successful, you need to embrace the fact that, regardless of your age, the referee's job is to make decisions during the game and be an authority figure. It's okay to be nervous, and it's okay to make mistakes, but you need to have and maintain confidence in yourself and in your abilities. Some coaches, despite their best efforts, can be animated during the game and may question your decisions, try to get you to change a call, or undermine your authority. Making a good impression can help reduce the chances of this happening in the first place, and having confidence in yourself will better prepare you to manage these situations when they arise. Now that you have arrived on time and made a good impression by introducing yourself and showing you are a capable and confident official, it's time to attend to the pregame duties before the game can start. As the referee, you are ultimately responsible for the safety of the players, the field, the ball, and player equipment, but safety is a priority for the assistant referees as well, both before and during the game. Any holes that could cause injuries should be filled, and any dangerous objects near or around the field should be removed. The goal nets should be securely fastened to the goalpost and pulled back so as not to interfere with the goalkeeper. Both goals must be securely anchored to the ground. The goalposts don't have to be in the ground, but the goal frame must be weighted down so that it does not tip over. No matter how good the goals look at a distance, always inspect them carefully. If the goals are not securely anchored, do not start the game. Remember, your priority must be the safety of the players. Make sure corner flags are in place and are the minimum height required so that they are not dangerous to players. Check that the entire field is properly lined. Fixing problems with the field or the goals is the responsibility of the home team. Make sure you bring any issues to the attention of the home team coach and explain that they must be corrected before the game starts. Any other field issues, such as incorrect markings or missing corner flags, which don't involve safety, should be noted in your game report or otherwise brought to the attention of the assigner or the competition authority. In addition to inspecting the field, you must also inspect the player's equipment. Start with the team that appears to be the most ready for inspection, but note that some local rules of competition may provide a specific pregame timeline. It often makes sense to inspect the player's equipment at the same time the player passes and rosters are also being checked. Be sure to check for anything else required by the local rules of competition. In particular, anything other than the standard uniform elements described in Law 4 needs to be inspected. Make sure all items of jewelry have been removed. Covering something with tape does not necessarily make it legal or safe. Once again, your priority is player safety, so it's important that any item you consider to be dangerous be removed or corrected. A medical ID can be worn, but should be taped to the player's body for safety. The local rules of competition determine the size of the ball to be used and who is supposed to supply the ball for the game. Feel the surface of the ball and check the air pressure to make sure it is safe and suitable for play. If you don't have a pressure gauge, then press in on the panels to feel if the ball is too hard or too soft. If the ball does not meet your standard for approval, return it to the provider so that the issue can be corrected or a replacement ball can be provided. As with field conditions, your job is to determine if a problem exists and what needs to be done to make it right. You are not responsible for correcting any issue with the game ball. When you begin officiating, you may start primarily by working games as an assistant referee. You should also pay close attention to the referee during the pregame conference, and if you do not understand something the referee is saying, ask for clarification. As a new official, the pregame conference can also be a good opportunity to learn from more experienced referees so that you are better prepared when the time comes for you to conduct your own pregame conference. When conducting the pregame conference as the referee, tell your assistant referees what you would like them to do in various situations, such as throw-ins, free kicks, goal kicks, and make sure they understand exactly what you are asking from them. Review offside and make sure the assistant referees have a clear understanding of offside position versus involvement. Discuss the local rules of competition and ask if anyone on the referee team has additional information. Also be sure to cover all substitution procedures and signaling preferences. Making a good impression and taking care of all the pre-game duties is important, but there is still a lot of work to be done during the game itself. Here are some of the most important points to remember as the referee. Running to keep up with play is part of being a good referee. It is impossible to make correct decisions when you are not in a good position. Even when refereeing small-sided games, don't just stand in the center circle. Get in the habit of being active and keeping up with play. Running and being active is not only a good way to get in position to make a correct call, but it also shows the players, coaches, and spectators that you are taking your responsibilities as the referee seriously. The best position to be in is the one that will allow you to make the correct call. As just mentioned, this means that you will have to be active and work to keep up with play. Positioning is something that becomes more natural as you gain more experience as a referee, but working hard is something you can do on your very first game. Despite your best efforts, you will not always be in position to make the correct call. Sometimes the ball simply moves faster than you can run, and the speed of play increases as the level of competition increases. Don't get discouraged. This happens to referees at all levels, so it's important to maintain your focus and work rate. Your assistant referees are there to help you. Their signals are silent, so it is critical that you look at them regularly throughout the game. A good habit to get into is to make eye contact with your assistant referees on every dead ball situation, and during play when you suspect that they may have information for you. Making eye contact is not simply a matter of looking in the assistant referee's direction. Your assistant referee needs to know you are looking at him or her, and then you should confirm the communication by using a simple gesture such as a head nod or thumbs up. This gesture can be discussed in the pregame conference. Always use the diagonal system of control when you have assistant referees assigned with you. This is often called the left diagonal, which means that you run from the right corner behind you to the left corner in front of you. The left diagonal provides a guideline for referees, but remember that the best position to be in is the one that always allows you to make the correct decision. If you are assigned to a game without assistant referees, you can appoint club linesmen to signal when the ball leaves the field of play. Remember that club linesmen cannot call offside or fouls, so this means that you will have to work hard to cover more space and concentrate to make sure you are covering offside on both ends of the field. The clarity of your signals and the volume of your whistle will determine the kind of impression you are making on players, coaches, and spectators. As a referee, you want to do all you can to make sure this impression is a good one. Make sure you are signaling clearly by pointing in the appropriate direction with your arm extended and your fingers held together. Blow your whistle firmly and with confidence. Your whistle is one of the ways you will communicate during the game, so make sure it's loud enough for everyone involved to hear. You can also make your whistle say different things by blowing harder or softer, blowing more than once, or changing the tone of your whistle depending on whether you just want to get the player's attention, to signal something happening that you don't like, or to stop play due to an injury or dangerous situation. Understand that your first assignments may be as an assistant referee. This allows you to become more familiar with officiating and build confidence before accepting the responsibilities of being a referee. This doesn't mean that being an assistant referee is easy or any less important than being the referee. Here are some of the most important points to remember during the game as an assistant referee. Stay even with the second to last defender or the ball, whichever is closer to the goal line, so that you are in the best position possible to make accurate decisions. Make eye contact with the referee as often as possible throughout the game when you are not watching for offside or completing other assistant referee duties. If you see the referee make eye contact with you, be sure to give them a nonverbal signal of confirmation, such as a head nod, thumbs up, or something similar, so that the two of you are communicating effectively. This nonverbal signal should be discussed in the pregame conference. Holding the flag in the proper hand means the flag should be held in the hand closest to the referee. Referees usually run a left diagonal, which means the flag will be in the left hand most of the time when running towards the goal line. Remember that you will need to switch hands when running towards the center line so the referee can clearly see the flag at all times. You may also have to switch hands when signaling for offside, goal kicks, corner kicks, throw-ins, or fouls. Remember that when switching the flag from one hand to the other, it should always be done in front of you and below waist level. Make a habit of following the ball all the way to the goal line. This allows you to be in position to see if the ball completely crosses out of play so you can clearly signal a corner kick or goal kick. It also enables you to see if a goal was properly scored. Sidestep so you stay square to the field as much as possible. This position allows you to continue to see the field and players. When you need to sprint hard, turn and run normally, but still be sure to watch the field. There are times when the ball simply moves faster than you can run. Don't be frustrated by this. Remember to keep working hard and do the best you can to catch up with the play. When signaling for a goal kick or corner kick, make sure that you have run all the way to the goal line and are near the corner flag before signaling. Raising your flag yards away from the corner flag or goal line not only calls attention to the fact that you are not in the correct position to make the decision, it also suggests that perhaps you can't keep up with play or are not taking your responsibilities seriously. Even if you signal properly, not being in the correct position can lead to confusion or arguments from players and coaches. When signaling for a throw-in, point your flag in the direction the throw-in will be taken. You can also assist the referee in making sure the throw-in is being taken from the correct spot by pointing with your free hand to where the player should be standing when taking the throw-in. Make sure that you are always between the thrower and the goal line when the throw is being taken. When serving as the assistant referee on the bench side, follow the referee's pregame directions on handling substitutions. In particular, make sure that you have counted the players coming off and the substitutes coming on so that you don't wind up with too many players on the field. Now that the game is over, it's time to focus on what you need to do before you leave the field and to share some important advice about gaining experience, continuing to learn, and improving your performance. After the final whistle, the closest member of the referee team should collect the ball and return it to the team or person that provided it. The referee and the assistant referees should meet to verify the score, confirm which players received yellow or red cards, and decide if anything else needs to be included in the game report. This is the best time to make sure everyone agrees on all matters that need to be reported so that everything is submitted accurately and correctly. In some leagues, coaches may also be required to verify the game report with their signature. Submitting the official game report is the responsibility of the referee, and additional reports may be required if there was a serious incident that took place during the match. Often the game report is not only used to confirm the results of the match, but also as the basis for paying the officials, so getting everything completed correctly is important. Know how the game report is supposed to be submitted because some leagues may require you to mail a copy of the report, while other leagues have online reporting systems. Experience is the best teacher and confidence builder. The more games you work, the more comfortable and confident you will be. Your goal should be to learn and improve with every game, regardless of the level of competition. If you are interested in developing as a referee, work with your assigner to get more challenging assignments after proving you are ready to accept the responsibilities and handle the pressure of officiating at a more competitive level. U.S. Soccer recommends that referees not rush into working competitive games until they have first experienced being an official at the small-sided and recreational youth level. Remember, there is nothing wrong with refereeing at a level where you are comfortable and confident. Although the current crop of professional and international referees started out exactly where you are now, that doesn't mean that every official in the U.S. Soccer Federation referee program has to reach that level in order to service the game and contribute to the growth of soccer. Developing as a referee doesn't always mean working more challenging games. Sometimes it means doing what you are comfortable doing, but learning how to do it better. It is important for you to find the right type of games to referee so that you're challenged while still having fun. The hope is that by enjoying your experience and being successful, you'll also want to continue being part of the referee program for years to come. If something occurs in a game and you are not sure if you made the correct decision, go back to the laws of the game and double check. You need to be proactive in finding answers to your questions. Asking other referees for their opinions on a certain player decision can be helpful, but don't look for others to do your work for you. Working with more experienced officials is a great way to learn and develop. Being an assistant referee can help you gain a better appreciation and understanding of the pre- and post-game responsibilities while also learning from the decisions made during the game. You can also benefit from having an experienced official work with you as an assistant referee, because they can provide you with feedback on your performance and advice on specific situations that may have caused you trouble in a game. In addition to the experience gained from working more games and the time you spend studying the laws of the game and learning from others, don't forget that your State Referee Association is an important resource for information and support. Clinics and workshops held by the State Referee Association can provide you with valuable in-service training that helps you improve and develop as an official. The State Referee Association is also responsible for overseeing your registration and certification process. You are required to register each and every year to be eligible to work as an official, so visit your State Referee Association website for complete information on all fees and deadlines. Thank you for watching, and please be sure to keep visiting ussoccer.com to view additional referee education resources aimed at providing officials of all levels with information on the laws of the game and advice on practical refereeing.